Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Mental Health Matters podcast. We are on episode 4 of the new season, season 2. This is going to be the first full season because last season, unfortunately, I fell off. And I was like, I can't do this. I need to get a reset. Here's the reset. We're going strong, staying consistent. We're doing our thing. And, as we've been talking about with everything with the mental health and trying to get yourself back on track and trying to figure out where you want to be, we've been going over different steps as we went through with episode 1 on acknowledging yourself, your path, your direction, and episode 2, the brick by brick method, and episode 3, falling in love with the process. And now we are on episode 4. And I thought it'd be a perfect time to introduce a nice, good friend of mine, Jimmy Dukes. And
Uh,
for those of you guys that don't know him, I met him as a fellow streamer on Facebook. We were both doing content creation over there, and we've been close friends since. We've done games together, we've done collabs together, multiple sorts. We've done podcasts together. We've met up in person. We've had a lot of history, but nothing but good history. And he has always been somebody that's pushed me towards the right direction and always motivated and encouraged me. So today I kind of wanted to pay homage and also catch up and talk with him and be like, "Yo, my boy, how you been? Let us know about the new stuff you got going." And
yeah.
pretty much give you guys an example of a successful mindset with all the things that we're doing. I see him actively doing. So I'm going to be doing a nice fun interview with my boy, and we'll be having fun with it. So my boy having fun with it. So my boy, I can't. It's not just Jimmy Dukes Gaming anymore. It's just Jimmy
Is
Dukes, whatever you wanted to be, huh?
pretty much, man. I mean, obviously, thank you for all the kind words, of course, man. Yeah, you're one of the last streamer homies that I initially met that I keep up with.
Mm,
Like, not we're not best of friends and shit like that, but we've kept in touch anytime content stuff or even father stuff and things like that. So that's like the a lot of people have one thing in common, but when you can have multiple things in common, that's when you start building a relationship. And I think we built that over the
mm-hmm.
past, 5, 6 years that we've known each other. Like, hey, we were both trying to figure this out. Hey, we both have kids. We both like we know this is not the smartest financial decision. You're doing something that normally like somebody doesn't pursue.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, it started with the gaming, and now we just got a different like outlook the way we create content in different lanes for sure.
Yeah. No, so it's yeah, it's pretty much everything. It's always been like a high risk, and I don't know if there's gonna be a reward. You know what I mean? Like the reward, like,
Hmm.
and it was always nerve wracking and stuff. But the crazy thing is, through our journey, we've both had like situations where we've seen a lot of growth, we've seen some plateauing, and we've had doubts. You know what I mean? In ourselves in certain areas, and it may not be at the same time, but we kind of both went through them, and like I feel like this is a great time to kind of like share like how we've kind of persevered through these things, right? I've been sharing in my podcast the last few episodes about like my mental and the things that's been going on with me, and where I kind of almost just like kind of just was like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta find another route. And instead of doing that, I was like, I need to go back to Facebook me, where I was on fire. I loved everything. It was great. And that transition has been very helpful for me. But you made a completely different transition a few years back with not just gaming. I kind of wanted to just kind of like, pick your brain on that, on what you've done, and the ups and downs in it, because there's going to be awesome times. There's going to be times where you had a lot of growth through it, but it was not easy growth. And I kind of wanted to just kind of pick your brain through that and kind of see your mind journey, your mental journey, I guess is a better way to say it, throughout this process, because I've been seeing a lot of your stuff, and it's crazy seeing the growth and seeing all the stuff you're doing and seeing all the people reacting to you, but also seeing the quality at the same time and knowing like the behind the scenes stuff that comes with it. It's been crazy. And I want to just kind of, I guess, you want to start from the beginning, right? When you started the transition?
Yeah, I mean, for people who are just tapping in again to see me, or like like Tetsu mentioned, I started on Mixer just on my Xbox, and that's when the big Facebook trend came in,
Mm-hmm.
right? At the time, I was still a full time IT professional making a living. I went to school, like it was all good. I was traveling at the time, and I would be away for weeks at a time. So I started like falling in love with YouTube and people unboxings. So I started doing unboxings thinking like, oh, I want to do what, Alpha Gaming does, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I started wanting to do that, and then COVID hit and I was at home more. And then I was like, oh dang, well, like I'm actually working from home. Maybe I can like do extra stuff. So I started playing video games more, did that for 2 years on Facebook. By all means, I wasn't making a living being a streamer, but at one year I made I think like $12,000 just off of streaming off through Facebooks, through people with stars and stuff like that. I was very fortunate. I was able to start buying everything, but it got to the point to where I have two kids, I had a full-time job, and I just streaming was not on the plate anymore. It wasn't as important, especially
Hmm.
how you were just saying the return is just kind of like I felt like I was getting in that dip where I was like, oh man, this is kind of like I don't want to be a sweat at anything. I just want to play. But going through that, I was finding myself, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just start interviewing my gamer homies, right? So I started doing the podcast, and then I started Jimmy Duke's podcast. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
started talking to people that I knew through streaming. Then I started being more confident, started pivoting to talking to people in person. So I was like, okay, I want to go a podcast route. Like I would still play video games, but it wasn't the main thing anymore, right?
Yeah.
Did the podcasting for 2 years. We had over 80 episodes, did really well. And then I got to the point to where I was already 5 years in creating content, and I was like, I hated the job I was at. I stopped traveling because of COVID. I lost my job. I got fired. I had to find another job, and I was working from home, and I was making okay money, but I felt like
Mm.
content was like calling me, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know how I could make a living creating content, right?
Hmm.
So I started learning how to do other stuff for other people. Like, how can I take the stuff that I've learned and make a living out of it? And that
Yeah.
was like the biggest scare because I'm like, damn, man, I really don't want to work anymore, but I can't let this check go. You know, what I mean, there's no way. I have a family, I have a mortgage. Like, I cannot let this check go.
Yeah.
But last year, 2025, I was at 6 years of creating content. I felt confident enough that I can start freelancing because I learned how to use a camera. I started getting into the combat scene in the area, and I just through connections, a lot of free work led to a lot of paid work,
Mm.
and started just connecting with a lot of fighters because there was
Hmm.
nobody in my area like interviewing guys. Like I was like, I'm at these fights trying to be a photographer and videographer, but there's nobody interviewing. So I was like, what the hell? Why not? So I just started
Seize
talking
the
to
moment.
people, and I was like, I'm not gonna even like fight with the videographers or the photographers because there's some great people. But I was like,
Yeah.
what can I do with my talents? And sure enough, Jimmy Duke's Combat started. I started interviewing people. I started a talk show. I made it a point to really be in the scene when it
Hmm.
come to combat sports in the Southwest. I was going out of town for events. I was taking pictures. I wasn't getting paid. This was all on my time, by the way, guys. This was all on my time. And
Ooh
then when I
wee.
yeah, last year in May, I quit my job. It was the craziest thing ever. I quit my job. It was a long conversation with with my wife and everything, and the direction we wanted to go. All last year was trying to figure out how I'm gonna make money as a content creator, as a freelancer. And
Yeah.
man, it paid off for sure. It paid off. I'm super happy now.
That's freaking awesome, dude. I'm so happy for you. Like that journey is crazy because it's like it almost seems like it was like what I liked about it was you were resourceful. Like, and that's what I got through that entire journey that you just shared was like, yo, I'm just like, how can like I love what you said was how can I take this skill set and turn it and like and profit off of it, make it a career, make it return, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. And I'm not throwing shade at any content creators that have quit, but it's the thing is like if you just quit and don't utilize anything that you've learned, you truly wasted all that time and experience and knowledge that you've gained in this. You may not be that guy that's going to get 50,000 views every single stream, but there's things that you've learned in this journey that could help you get where you need to be. Maybe your end game wasn't content. Maybe it was something else in the video field that this segued you into. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. Like the fact that you were able, one thing I've always thought was dope with you, and I've always respected it, was you don't half-ass shit. You don't dip your toe in. you try stuff and you just jump straight into that joint. You like, I'm going
Absolutely.
straight to the deep end. Fuck that. I'm not swimming over there. I'm
Mhm.
jumping straight in, right? I'm gonna figure it out. I don't even know how to swim, but I'm gonna learn. Like, and some people may think it's crazy or whatever may happen, but that's, you kind of need that mentality to really seize what the opportunity is going to give you and get the most out of it. And I feel like that kind of goes into our mindset of loving the process, because if you don't love what you're doing, you're never going to realize how much everything, even the bad, can benefit you. And
Mhm.
I kind of like wanted to go off of that with you and ask another question, just like in this whole process, what was do you, let's go to the beginning when you started doing the podcasting and you started pulling away from gaming be like priority in your content journey, right? What do you think was your biggest obstacle, and how do you feel you overcame it? Do you like, looking back now into where, from where you are now looking back?
I went My biggest obstacle was that Jimmy Duke's gaming, right? I put myself in that thing where just Jimmy Duke's gaming. So the podcast was like, that was the first time in my head I was like, I'm using the Jimmy Dukes as the brand, and it's kind of like the umbrella to all the stuff that interests me. So
Mm,
that's how it started. I was like, I'm still gonna game, and not might not be as much as I would want, or a lot of people left, and then during that time, like, I mean, I wasn't the best streamer. I wasn't like trying to. I'm not pulling in a lot of views and stuff like that, but I was still doing it. But as
mm,
I was doing the podcast thing, that was the biggest thing. It's like, what? You're doing podcasts now? What are you trying to be, Joe Rogan and shit like that, right? So I was like, I made a
yeah,
studio in my garage. I bought like all the microphones. I would go to people's places and set up everything, right? And I felt, as I was going through that in my head, I was like, I know this is gonna work, but I was honest with myself. I didn't say I need to make money. I need to do this. At that time in my life, like, I just knew that I wanted to start doing that, and the only way to do it was to do it. So I just started interviewing people,
exactly.
like, and people I wouldn't even know. I'd reach out to people that even knew who the hell I was. I learned how to start clipping and making reels for conversations. So like, I started acquiring more skills as I started pivoting. I might
Hmm.
not have been playing games anymore either, like, and I was just doing the podcasting. But man, I racked up like 80 episodes, and then me and you had 2 seasons of not just gamer dads, you know what I mean? So like, through those reps, I
Yeah,
got more confident of just being in front of the camera and talking. You know what I mean? That was one of the
yeah.
biggest thing that's helped me too. Is like, I can I can talk in front of a camera, and I could be behind a camera. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
all those skills that I gained when I was switching over to the podcasting was scary, but then the podcasting came to a road, and then I got to another road, and that was like where I was like, damn, I pivoted, and I'm gonna pivot again, and I was like, damn.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing too when you're doing all this, is the like you said it perfectly, the pivoting, because a lot of people are like, oh man, it's a, I'm changing directions, or oh man, I had to start over, it's like, yo son, you're pivoting. That's the exact way. You
Mhm.
are just turning your attention to what matters at the most at that moment.
Absolutely.
That doesn't
Yep.
mean that everything else that you've done is null and void. It's just,
Absolutely.
you got to turn and you got to take the shot. You know, now,
Hmm.
now, and what I like about this too with the pivot, I've been in my basketball bag lately. Knicks in five. You know what I'm
Right?
saying? Like,
Hey,
but
finally, after what,
after
100 years and
53
shit.
years, dog, I was like, bro, I was like, my entire life, but it's been crazy. But like,
Yeah.
with the whole point of a pivot, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're in that position, you're pivoting, you can't take another step. You have to take the shot, or you have to
Mm,
pass. So are you
mhm,
gonna keep passing it to the other guy, or are you gonna take the fucking shot? You know what I'm saying? And that's the cool thing about the pivot, is you put yourself in a position where you're like, I gotta take the shot. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying? And I remember when we did the podcast, doing it in Discord and doing it like, even like now how we're doing it, it's cool, but it's a completely different scene in person. Completely different scene. And when I saw you when we were at that meetup, and we were in the room and we were setting everything up, and that was the first time
yeah.
I saw you in person, like grabbing this, grabbing that, getting this. You know exactly what this is. You know where to plug that up. Dude, you were like a kid in like a toy shop, bro. And
Yeah, bro.
I haven't seen you this happy, like
Yeah,
streaming.
dude.
Like, you laugh and you joke, but like genuine joy, I didn't see that. like all the
Yeah.
time. So it was like seeing you taking that pivot with the stream with podcasting and setting up all the equipment. I was like, dog, I was like, this got me inspired. I want to do this shit too. I was like, I want to
Yeah,
walk
bro,
around
that
with
shit was
cameras and
fun.
shit. I was like, yo, this
Yeah,
camera,
dude.
I've never had a camera, just in the disposable shit. So I'm like, Jimmy got the one with like a freaking that the
The
whole the
lenses and everything, right?
yeah. I was like, yo, this is gas. But it was really
Yeah.
cool seeing you do that. But the confidence that comes with it makes it easier for you, I feel like, to become more knowledgeable in your craft. And that's what I like too. And like what you said it perfectly when you were like when you said when you said earlier you were like Jimmy Duke's gaming was the biggest thing that was like nerve wracking for a minute. It was like, how am I gonna like it's almost like you're rebranding. And I kind of did that
Yeah.
shit too. And I was like, when I did the unfortunate one, my biggest issue was my name was negative. And I
Mhm.
felt like I kind of was like bad jujuing myself. And I was like, this isn't working out. Like the whole concept of it was to make something funny out of unfortunate moments. But I was like, I feel like it ended up kind of cursing myself. So I was like, I had to change it. But you turning it instead of being afraid of that, like a lot of other people were, like, if I change my name, everything's gonna like whatever. You kept the piece of it and then you just kind of just umbrellaed it, like you said, which was perfect. And that's kind of like what I've had to do when I rebranded was going to this whole temple thing. And the temple is like my house of content. And it's everything's like under a new excuse me, like a new joint. It's going to be temple this or like it all my name kind of rebranches into everything else, but it's all under one branch, like under one roof, which is the temple. And like it works out with you because like now you said you had the Jimmy Dukes, you could do combat, you could do whatever the hell you want to do. At this point,
Mhm.
you want to go open up a food truck, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do
Yeah,
whatever
I
the hell
got
you
like
want.
yeah, like it's funny you say that because like I did the gaming, I did the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and then the combat started
Mm-hmm.
because I was doing jujitsu at the time at my gym, and I started learning how to use a camera and starting to edit, and you know what I mean, and just make
Mm-hmm.
those hype reels that people liked. And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Damn, I got Jimmy Duke's Combat, Jimmy Duke's Gaming, Jimmy Duke's Podcast." And then when I was gonna quit my job, I already like envisioning how I was gonna do it. I was like, "All right, Jimmy Duke's Media is gonna be me
Boom.
being my media company and being an asset for people." And that's what I've been making a living now. Jimmy Duke's Media sends invoices to my clients. The clients call me over the year, like, I got a couple clients, they need X amount of work, or I work with X amount of promotions. You know, I do whatever I do, I send the invoice and they pay me. It was crazy. You know what I mean? So
That's
like
fucking
Jimmy Duke's
awesome.
Media is the top. So anything that I do under Jimmy Duke's is gonna be the media is like the umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it was crazy because you said that too. I remember you were saying about the unfortunate one, and I remember you would kind of jokingly say like, "Ah, well, it's because I'm unfortunate." But you're right, like that negative mindset, just even jokingly, like saying negative things about yourself isn't good. And then you switched it, which was good because yeah, I totally agree because you're not stuck with a name, but at the same time, like if you can kind of make it work, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what was the biggest thing for me is like I had Jimmy Duke's gaming podcast, but I was interviewing doctors and athletes. You know what I mean? I didn't want to let go of that gaming because everybody knew me for that. But I
Yeah.
had to just not be like married to the gaming part. And that was like the pivot, how we were saying is like being understanding and just having more of a broader vision of what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I found myself making content. I was like, I need to stop trying to do what everybody else is doing. What is Jimmy like doing? I like music.
Mm-hmm.
I love fighting. I love roller hockey. I love jujitsu. I love combat sports. I'm just gonna lean in on being myself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I'm not gonna like as much as I play video games. Like, I can never be as good as you at Naraka. Never in my life. I can never be as good as you at a lot of games. Like, you're a better gamer. You know what I mean than me,
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean?
Not
So
even. I'm
when I
trash at the games.
yeah, no, I'm just saying, but like that was my thing. It's just kind of like I was so caught up trying to be a good gamer, but I wasn't
Yeah.
as good as I wanted to be. So I started leaning in on more just being myself. Like, how many clips did you
Mm-hmm.
see after a while of me just fucking around? I
Yep.
just like, yeah, I'm just gonna lean on just being myself. Like, what the hell? If I could be myself all the time, like, why the hell not?
Yeah, and the thing is, and when you're yourself, it's just easier. You don't have to
Hmm.
put up a facade. You don't have to force the funk. You don't have to act like you like what you're doing. This is you. So everything that you're associating with are your interests. And that kind of like with the whole fall in love with the process is the same thing. Like if you're being yourself, it's easier to love what you do. It's easier for you to love the journey. And that's what just makes it so much. it's a big growth thing. And I
Yeah,
like to like with the whole like with the brick by brick thing is I'm trying to correlate the methods into what you're talking about is basically like what you talking about all the steps that you've taken into like you started with podcasting just the homies from streaming and then you started to podcast people like up close and then you started to go into doing the videography for other people and then noticing hey there's a spot over here that ain't nobody going into. Let me jump into that. But it's like every single thing that you've done has been a brick that's laid strength to your foundation of the media that you've done. You know what I mean? And that's what I love it though. Like the whole umbrella idea is great because everything that's under it holds it up. You know what I mean? Like, and nothing runs without the other. You know what I'm saying? Everything helps each other out. Everything has skill sets that benefit each other, that intertwine with each other, and it kind of makes you more well-rounded to be able to take different clients. You can take the more serious clients that don't believe in the gaming side. You could take the more serious clients that want this, that, and the third, that want your more professional side, and then you could take the ones that maybe you have a streamer that wants somebody to edit their shit for them, and you're like, yo, I got you. Yo, throw me some beans, I got you. And at the end of the day, the more well-rounded you are, eventually, like what you said, when I'm learning this one thing, my focus point isn't making money. But the cool thing is when you can be past that, it's going to make you money in the future. Because
absolutely.
now you're gonna make money from everything versus worrying about that one thing that you're like, this ain't gonna make me no bread. What am I gonna do? But now this thing is helping you with this, and this, and all four of those are making you money. And it's just the way you gotta look at it. So it's like I love that shit. That's dope. I The podcasting thing has always been fun, and that's why one of the things I'm really glad that I'm doing again because I, everybody know I like to talk. I be yapping. I run my damn mouth. I'm like, shut up. And I'm like, sorry, my bad, my bad, my bad. But I like it. I like talking. I like it. I just feel like it's a very good way to express myself, how I'm feeling, what's going on in the moment, whatever it may be. But this has always been something I've wanted to do. So like I'm really glad I kind of got back into this. It's kind of the same thing I've been doing was all right, I'm gonna take it step by step. I'm not gonna go into doing 17 podcasts right now. I want to do this, I want to do that. I was like, I'm gonna read this book. Every episode is gonna be based off of what I read. So I have kind of a goal. And in that if this book is gonna have direction, it's gonna give me a guideline for direction for my season. Now I was like, I'm gonna just keep doing that, read it. And I wanted to read a book every month. So I was like, I'm gonna read a book, we're gonna talk about it, and I keep going. And it kind of helped with the consistency pattern. So I want to say, what do you feel is from your first the first skill sets that you've gained from just streaming alone? What do you feel is one of your biggest assets now with everything that you do?
My personality, being confident in front of a camera with a microphone in my face. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I've jokingly like I've looked back at old streams and I'm just like, you know what I mean? Kind of like, is somebody there? Not really there.
Yeah.
And you know, over time, we've even talked about a long time ago. It's like play games like somebody's always watching. Like if
Mm-hmm.
zero people are watching, hey, oh my god, did you see that? That's crazy, man. Like if you just got comfortable, that was the biggest key that I felt like streaming gave me that confidence to talk in front of a camera. You know, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
fortunate enough that I get to talk to a lot of different people, a lot of successful people. I put a camera on their face and they freeze.
Yeah.
They freeze. They don't know. I've done so many interviews or promos for fighters, and I'm holding the transcript. This is who you are. This is where you fight from, and blah blah blah. They cannot get through that single 4 or 5 sentences without messing up because they're
Mm.
overthinking. They're worried. There's a camera in front of them, but it's only me and them. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So that was one of the biggest things that I would say is just being comfortable being in front of a camera and talking for sure, hands down.
That's probably one of the most underrated assets that people have is being able to do this because you look at so many people now when they start streaming and you look at their first videos compared to now and like how awkward it was.
Hmm.
Super awkward. Cause that was always my thing. I was like, oh my god, when I first started, I was like, wait, what am I supposed to do if no one's watching? Am I not good enough? Like, and it was just like, am I
Yeah.
not doing what I'm supposed to do? And then like, I'm glad that I figured that out a little early. I heard somebody told me that
Hmm.
because I was like, I feel like once you can get to that point of having that, keep that's just it works. It's, what's it called? It's energy control. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It's controlling the room and controlling the energy. If you can control a camera, you can control the room. And it's like because if I can make myself interesting on the camera and I don't know who the fuck is watching me, I can make an entire room notice.
Yep.
I'm here doing my thing. It's not about, hey, look at me, I'm the
Yeah.
best. Look at my new
Yep.
hat that I made on Tuesday. It's, hey, look, I'm in this bitch to do business, and I'm about to be the best in this bitch right here. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's like you had to be able to come in there and be like, hey, Tetsu's here to do his shit. Jimmy's here and he about to do his damn thing. He's not here to fuck with you
Mhm.
guys. He's not here to play around. He's here to get shit done. It's business time. You know what I'm saying? And for you to be able to do that and walk around with confidence, you had to be able to do that on the camera too. And I feel like that's a very good, I feel like that is a very good thing. And also I think that's gonna help out too, like with you being able to see when other people are lacking in that to kind of be
Mhm.
able to help them out. You know what I'm saying? That's actually that's kind of dope. That's kind of dope.
It's funny you say that because like one of the things I do with some of my clients, like I have a client who's a boxing coach,
Hmm.
and I strategize everything. I was like, all right, this is what we are gonna do. This is how you're gonna talk. This is what we're gonna talk about. And I guide them through the transcript. I guide them how to talk. We take takes, and I guide them through it. And it was crazy because I'm like everything that I've done practicing, and like another thing too is that I've never stopped learning. That's one thing I've always tell people. I'm like, I follow different creators in different lanes for
Hmm.
different reasons. Like I
Yeah.
follow a guy who does speeches, and he helps me with how I talk, how I speak, how to present myself. I know I follow another guy how to handle and clients. I follow another guy how to handle media work, how to handle being a commentator. So
Hmm.
like I follow different people for different reasons, and I'm grabbing all those gems and then just putting them into my bag, and it's
Yeah.
helped me over time. It's like I didn't stop. Like I don't just follow streamers. I don't just follow podcast people. I don't follow just fighters. I'm following all different types of people that can aid me in what I'm doing in media now.
See, and that's good. That's just like you said, putting it in your bag. That's adding just adding more pieces to the puzzle just to make it easier. And that's so out of watching all these other people that kind of may not even be in all the fields of what you're doing specifically, what do you feel from what you've learned from everybody else is like which skill set have you like appreciated the most from following all these other people? Like what have you like gained from it? If that makes sense.
Um, that they were in the same spot at one point too.
Yeah.
Like one guy that I follow, his name is Vin something. He's Filipino, but he does a lot of speeches and talking and stuff like that. And I've learned how to talk with my hands. I've learned how to pause. I've thought about my process and being okay with pausing and making the video more exciting like this instead of just sitting there like this and talking. So like
Exactly.
little things like that, just I become more animated, and my message gets more across compared to somebody like, yeah, like I used to like play video games, and I went to podcasting, and I just and then I started feeling really confident. Like, man, I was doing this, and then I started getting into podcasting, and then I was like, dang, why not? Let's go. You know what I mean? So like that helped
Mhm.
me watching him talk about that kind of stuff because that helped me on camera. And
Yeah.
especially when you talk to a lot of people, you like one thing that I've been credited a lot of people have said, and I've been really nice, like Jimmy, the way you handle conversations and guide people through interviews is amazing to watch. Because like everybody's like, you make it so easy for me to talk to. I've had so many professional athletes tell me, you're the first person to really take the time to help me, other than like, hey, what's your name? Blah 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 blah. Okay, well, you know what I mean? It's more like I've taken the time to like see what we're at, see what the mood is, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
taking the time to really care, and people notice that kind of stuff. So I've take that with me too with the whole speech and talking in front of people, because like you can be dry, and then sometimes people like, you're like, okay, you're cool, but you're not really interested. Like a lot of the time I'm fortunate, people like, I want to talk to you again. When can we do this again? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm like, cool, fuck
It's like
yeah, if
it's
it
like
makes sense, let's
contagious.
go.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
No, that
dude,
makes that
hell
makes
yeah,
sense.
bro.
But that's good. I mean, because that's you know you love what you're doing, so you just in this, and the animated mindset's always been good. We've learned that from like short form content. Like everybody with TikTok,
Yep.
what do they do? They'd be like, "Hey, did you just hear?" And
Yep.
he'd be like, "What the fuck?" And be like, "I want to know what the hell this dude's talking about." Even if I don't really
Mhm.
care, I'm like, you've like
Enough.
forced interest into it with that,
Exactly.
so
Just a
that's
little bit,
cool.
right?
Yeah, we were kind of. Well, I know right before we started recording, we were chopping it up a little bit, but there was one thing I wanted to ask you because um, everything we've been talking about are really good, successful things that have helped you out. I know you said that there was a time where you were kind of in the same boat with me, where you were just kind of doubting. I
Hmm.
wanted to kind of dive into that a little bit too, as we it's gonna I wanted to kinda ask you, like, what was one of your biggest doubts that you've had in this? But, like, with everything that you've shared, what do you feel like helped you kind of, like, bounce back and stay in your bag? Because like, you've kept that bag, but, sometimes we fumble it a little bit, or sometimes we worry about what's in it, or whatever it may be. Like, what do you think was one of your bigger doubts, and how did you
This
bounce?
Yeah, like the biggest thing was for me is like the financial thing, and I get it. A lot of people
Yeah.
like it's and still now I'm still not making as much as I was last year as an IT professional. Like I
Mhm.
went to school for IT. I work for colleges. I've worked for school districts. I worked for the government. You know what I mean? And I worked for Microsoft. So I'm like, I was getting money, right?
Yeah.
But it got to the point in my life where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Mhm.
Like, but how can I make content? How can I like make money being myself, right? How can I make money being myself without having to change myself or just kind of like, like what do I have to like sacrifice to really pursue it? And one of the biggest things is that doubt too. And obviously I have
Yeah.
a partner, you know what I mean? My wife is like, "Hey, what are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like we're making X amount of money. You went to school for this. You've been working in it for, 16 years, 17 years at the time. Why do you want to quit? And just being in just working IT tickets and talking to people and just like I got drained when it wasn't something I wasn't passionate about. So that
Mm.
was the biggest doubt is just like what am I doing? I'm going to throw away all my years of IT and not and try to go on a limb and try to make money as a freelancer, but that was the biggest thing is just taking that dive. But I was smart about it. You got to know me over the years, bro. Like I like a lot of
Yeah.
people like they see me, but they don't know what I'm doing until things are happening.
Mhm.
Cause I'm the type of person that I don't sit here and say, "Hey, I'm gonna go do this." I just do shit, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Bro. For me, that's one of my biggest things that I've learned over time through content. I was like, I'm just gonna move in my own pace, in my own, lane, on my own time.
Mhm.
And it might be slow and it might be fast, but like when I'm making moves, like people are like noticing, but I don't ever have to talk about it. It was
Yeah.
just literally just putting my head down and just everything I said I was gonna do, I didn't say it, I just did it. And over that, how you were saying it, just the bricks, just building that shit, man. I was just like, I'm fucking moving. And I wouldn't like I mean, everybody likes a pat on the back. Don't get me wrong. Every once in a while,
Oh,
like
yeah.
having the pat on the back is great. But like me, I was like, I'm going to make this happen. And that
Mhm.
was it. I didn't say what I was going to do. I wasn't telling people that I would just started doing it. I just started doing it. So when I quit the job, it was crazy because I quit the job at the beginning of May.
Mhm.
And at the end of May, they fired 500 people from where I worked.
Holy crap.
I, I would have been one of them.
So you pretty much just beat him to the punch. You left on your
and that
own
was like
terms.
and I was like,
Oof.
that's crazy. Like it's like how you saying everything happens for a reason. I felt like when that happened, and I was already kind of making content for people when I was working with promotions for free. I was
Yeah.
commentating for free. I was making video work I was trying to just I was a content creator in the combat sports world to the point to where like I'm not just hanging around, I could
Mhm.
actually help people and be an asset to
Yeah.
people. And that's when I started realizing that, oh, I can go make money being a videographer. Like one time for a show, I just showed up to the show, I recorded all the fights, I turned in my memory card, and I got paid $200. And I was like, what? That's it? Another time, hey, we just need 3 photos per fight. Go in there, took photos for 3 or 4 hours, turned in the memory card, got $150. I was like, huh, okay. What
Did you have
else
to
can I
pay
start doing?
did you have to pay to get into fights?
No, no, no. I got paid to just use the
That's what I'm
camera.
saying, and you got to watch him
That's what I'm
fight
saying.
for free.
Cage side, bro. And I was like,
Oh.
okay, what can I start doing now
Yeah.
that I can start making content? So I started
Mhm.
doing POV stuff of me cage side at a fight and then posting it on YouTube. Like,
That
what?
was
You're cage
genius.
side? You're cage, dude. I'm cage side at a fight and I'm taking photos, bro. This is so dope. And I
No,
just started
yeah.
doing that. I was like, how can I start being a content creator but still make money? You
I
know what
love
I
that
mean? And
shit.
still use my personality. And like that was the one of the biggest things is like my creativeness helped me create more content into stuff that helped me make money, and if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I dude, what I loved, like I think I saw a video. I can't remember if I saw it. I think I where did I, it was on YouTube. That when I saw you, I was like, yo, Jimmy's the only motherfucker I know that's gonna record himself making content. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, Doug, you're already there recording these motherfuckers. And I'm like, who's recording you? I'm like, I bet you there's nobody recording you. And then you were like, yeah, I just posted, put this up over here. I'm like, this dude's a genius, bro. Just like when you're doing your editing things, bro, it may not get a million views. I
But
think
it
that's
looks
the
dope.
coolest shit. Bro, when
Yeah,
you got
dude.
that
Everybody's like,
camera,
that's dope.
fuck
Yes.
yeah, dude. But I'm like, dude, you're already
Yes.
making like, dude, how you gonna make content while making content? Like, but
Yes.
that's the thing is
Absolutely.
that's that hunger and that's the passion is you gotta think outside the box. And it's like what we were talking about earlier with you when you said that you may not have 20 years in the videography aspect, or you may not have 20 years in like the camera and the photography like some of these other cats do, but you have all these other things that you have at your belt that you can offer
Absolutely.
other skill sets, other things that you could put together that help. And it's like that's all from your passion and it helps you be more versatile in the situation. So it's like you're making content for these cats, but now you're also you're working for yourself too because you're recording yourself and then you're doing this over there. So it's like you're making content for this dude getting paid. Then you're recording yourself making content for this dude getting paid, and that's gonna go on YouTube. If that gets views, that gets you paid. And then when you're gonna go home and edit the shit that you just did for that guy and yourself, you're gonna record yourself doing it. And it's like, but the thing is,
Absolutely.
you have to think like that because now all of a
Yeah.
sudden you turn one job into five. You know what I mean? And
y-
it's awesome. It's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you wouldn't have thought about that if you didn't do the late night gaming sessions. You know what I'm saying? Editing your Call of Duty clips. You know what I'm saying? When we were
Yep.
just falling off of parachutes and dying
Yep.
45 times. Like, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? The content that we're doing, it you're just laughing at shit. And that's the one thing I've always loved too. Is do you still like watch shit and be laughing and reacting to your own shit? That's the one thing I
Oh
love
yeah,
doing.
like when I'm editing and I'm going through it, I'm just like, God, I'm an idiot. Like this is
Yes.
amazing. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, wow, like I am genuinely being myself. Like I've had people random. This is the coolest thing ever too. Like my wife fucking hates it sometimes, but it's hilarious. Like random people come up to Jimmy, you're Jimmy Dukes. Dude, your fucking video, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, oh shit, that's dope. And I'm like, he's like, you're the same exact person in all your videos. You're the same person in life, in real life. You're the same person. I'm
Yep.
like, go. That's what I want to be. I want to be
Exactly.
the same guy within reason, obviously, and wherever we're at. Like myself at the cage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm myself as a content creator. I'm myself running content for clients. I'm myself all the time. I mean, I
Yeah.
turn it up a little bit when I need to. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
I'm high. My name is Jaime Rodriguez, but if I need to put Jimmy Dukes on for entertainment and turn it up a little bit, to make it more fun, I do. You know what I mean?
You
Like
guys
I'm
heard the way he
still
said that shit? You heard the way he said
I'm
his
an
name, a little sexy twang to it. You heard it?
yeah, Jaime Rodriguez, right? I'm like
Oh,
I'm an extent that's just an extension of who I am, bro. Like that's
yeah.
all it is. Like a lot of people get like, "Oh, you turn into." I'm like, I'm myself. I just turn it up a little bit. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like I'm myself still, but I just get to not be Jaime like the dad or the
Yeah,
husband. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
But it's I mean, I think it's so much easier too because like when you got to put on a persona and like everything
Every
affects itself.
time, yeah,
Dude,
oof,
and like, dude, you had a rough day. Now you gotta go put on a mask. It's like, come on,
yes,
son. Like for me,
yeah,
like that's the one thing I've always liked about what I do is I try I'm just transparent. Like even in this
mhm,
podcast that I've been doing with these episodes, it's like I'm not just gonna be like, hey guys, your life sucks. This is what you could do to make it better. I'm like, hey yo, you
mhm,
struggling with this? Yo, me too. This is what I've been reading. This has been helping me, and I want to share my thoughts with you because I feel like people appreciate genuine transparency because
absolutely,
we're all going through shit, but no one. You know what's crazy? We live in a world where everybody lives in a camera, but no one can truly express themselves. Everybody puts shit on the camera except for how they really feel. And I've noticed that shit for the last like year of watching stuff. And then that's when you see the meltdowns. That's when you see the people no longer living. That's when you see all these crazy things because we got so deep into this content game as humanity that we post everything else but how we really feel. You lose yourself in the process. So it's like I don't want that to be me. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And I'm like, so the only way for me to do that is to be transparent and be real. If I have a rough day, I'm gonna get on here. I'm gonna talk about it. All my kids piss me
Yeah.
off. Hey, yo, fellow parents, yo, you hate when your kids be doing this shit. Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you ever want to just, just stone cold stun somebody and it'd be a kid? Like, it'd just be crazy shit. And then I'll be saying that stuff and I'm like, I'm gonna clip it because I want to see if it's worth it. And I'll go watch the clip later. I'm like, yo, what the fuck I said that? So I'm like, it'd be crazy shit. But I'll be sitting here recording shit and going through stuff and laughing. And I'm like, that's what I do myself. Cause somebody, I'll do this thing cool. Our subs know. For those of you guys that know, like I stream on Twitch as well. And basically, I have a whole thing for my subscribers. They link their Twitch to their Discord, and I have a VIP section called Edit Day, where on Wednesdays I go in and I edit behind the scenes work, but I do it and share my screen so people can come in and watch. But I'm not conversing with people. They just get a behind the scenes version of me. They see me editing, they learn how to do it. So if you want to be an editor, content creator, whatever, that's your time to learn and see all the tools that I use to make the content that you see every day, right?
Yep.
And you don't have to pay extra. It's just a sub perk that you get, an additional thing. You get it when I'm editing. I do it there so people can watch. But it's not like a powwow time. But the funny thing is that people laugh about is they're like, dude, you're in there just cracking the fuck up. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah. Because if I can't laugh at my own content, why the fuck would I post it?
Yeah.
Because then why
Yeah.
would you laugh? If I can't
Yep.
laugh at me, why would I
Yeah.
expect you to? If I can't
Yeah.
see what I'm saying and go, I said that. Like, that's some real shit. I just dropped a bar. Like, that was really good. If I don't have a wow factor for myself, I can't expect nobody else to have that same shit for me. And then that's it. When you just start shit posting, all of a sudden, all these last 12 videos only got 17 views. But the one that I laughed at got 900.
Mhm.
And it'd be like, and someone's like, 900 ain't shit. It's better than 12.
Yeah.
So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, it's a whole process of like making the content, going through it, and then just watching it grow. And sometimes the numbers
Yeah.
may not be substantial, but even if it gets one person, if I drop 100 videos and every video gets one person, by the end, I got 100 people. And that's what
Mhm.
people don't understand. They want every video to go viral. They want every piece of content
Yeah.
to reach the masses. And it's not meant for that. They want every episode of their podcast to be a freaking nominee for a Nobel Peace Prize. Like, no, it's not, bro. It's like everything serves its purpose. Like, you can't live in a brick, but you can live in a brick house made of bricks. And that's why I've been thriving off of that process is count every win. And I was like, it was count your victories. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I learned, and for me, counting my victories have always helped me to be able to like when you said pat yourself on the back, like I just getting a pat on the back from other people. I don't care for them because I'd be like, half the people that be patting me on the back, low key haters. They just be patting you on the back for that moment because you in your bag, but then the moment you're not, they're the first motherfuckers to laugh and turn on you. So I still don't trust nobody. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm gonna do this for me. If I'm
Mhm.
proud of me, if I could look back at the 2025 version of me and be like, you did good from where you
Yeah.
were at. It may not always be about finances. I grew in this aspect. I reached like this one thing, dude. Something I've always liked was I always liked like the merch, making custom pictures and stuff. Right? This just happened. I wanted to tell you about it. It's crazy. It's called Hype Pull. It's this little widget extension that they added on Twitch that you can make your own trading cards, virtual trading cards
Oh,
like
that's dope.
Pokemon, and you can put your own shit, right? And the viewers could use channel points and they can pull like how you see all those old TikToks where they be like ripping packs and open up shit.
Yeah.
They can do that now on stream, and the cards they're pulling are my own cards that I designed. So I've been doing stuff like making
That's
pictures
dope.
of like our emotes, or I'll turn me into like Thor from Marvel Rivals. I turned
Hell
Wifey into
yeah.
like a whole plant. I did like all this
Yeah.
crazy shit. So now they're trying to draw the cards like crazy and stuff like that. And everyone's been loving it. And now I'm sitting in there with the stream starting up, talking with them, and I'm pulling cards with them because I'm like, I could give myself all these cards, but I'm gonna go through this experience with you. And we're loving it. And it's like, but the thing is, like, that's something I didn't even realize I wanted to do. Now, what am I doing?
Mhm.
Now I'm over here researching, okay, what type of card stock do I need to print this? I have a Cricut machine, I have this. Now I'm gonna make these motherfuckers physical, and somebody's gonna win these. And now all of a sudden, that's step one on me making my own TCG. So I'm like, but it's like, but the thing is, like, if I didn't, like, I've always in the right mindset, I wouldn't have thought like that. And that's kind of like,
Yep.
it's like what you're doing too with everything. It's like, yo, I can just get this, or I could do this, and this. And
Mhm.
okay, I learned this. All right, now I master this. And wifey's kind of going through that too with her work. And it's crazy because it's like we're doing with the content, but everything you were saying is kind of what wifey's going through at work right now. Like she's kind of outgrowing. I like, 'cause she does all the plants and stuff, but I'd be telling her like, yo, you talk about plants and you talk about all this for everybody else, but you need to talk about it in return, like in turn to you. And I'm like, you outgrew your pot. And she was like, what do you mean I
Mhm.
outgrew my pot? I said, I don't know shit about plants. I'm going off of what you said. You said that when they grow too much roots, when they get all the nutrients and they're growing really good and healthy, they outgrow their pot. They need to put themselves in a bigger pot so they can grow. I'm like, that's what you're doing with this job. You outgrew your pot.
Mhm.
So this job is gonna become uncomfortable. This job is gonna feel like it's not giving you what you need. You're not able to grow. You can't grow anymore because you're uncomfortable because this job is restricting you, whether it's a boss, coworker, situation, whatever. I was like, now you're at that spot where you got to outgrow your pot. And she looked at me and I was like, she kind of understood what I was saying. I'm like, and that's your passion. You had to be able to tie
Mhm.
your passion into the hard times and like turn them into something good. And that was kind
Mhm.
of like what the chapter I was going to do, like what I was going to do with this episode before I talked to you was association, which is the power of association, right? And association is in two sets is what the book read, which was association obviously with other people, which is one we're the most common with you are who you associate yourself with, but it's
Absolutely.
also you are like what you associate with mentally with your situations. You know what I'm saying? If you're thinking out of the box, that's what you associate with. You associate your mindset with going out of the box to kind of get certain things going. And it said you also associate yourself with patterns on how you handle ups and downs, right? So I was like, this would be, and this is when I thought about you because it was the patterns and stuff. You change patterns, but what the thing is, you're not just a sporadic dreamer. You have a method. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You calculate everything, and I want this to happen and I'm going to jump in that pool, but before I jump in this pool, I need to know how to swim so I don't drown. I need to know that
Yep.
this is that, and you do that every time, and you're calculated with
Mhm.
your methods, and that's what I feel like helps you prepare for that leap of faith. You know what I'm saying? And um I wanted to ask you in that process with it, like what from like this is all I'm gonna ask you a future question. In your calculated mind, what do you feel is your next step?
And that's where I'm at now. Like, so all last year was a trial and error. Like last year I had X amount in my bank,
Hmm.
right? And I said, I don't want to touch this, right? I need X amount a month to pay my minimal bills. My wife does work, so you know what I mean? Like we're okay. I'm just making zero, right? So I had X amount in my bank, and in my head, I was like, I don't want to touch that because if I touch that, I feel like I failed, right? So I put
Mm,
myself in a position. I forced myself that going full time was treating it like a job and not a hobby anymore. So last year was like, all
mm,
right, I'm giving myself to the end of the year to talk to my wife and say, thank you for giving me these 8 months. I can't do it, right? That was a deal. By the end of December, I was like, holy shit, this is not looking good. You know, I'm making like $400 or $500 a month, maybe. You know
yeah.
what I mean, off of work. But one thing that didn't deter me is that I everything I knew was gonna work out. Like I was making all the right type of connections, and
Hmm.
I just started becoming more of an asset to people,
Hmm.
and people started trusting me more. That was one of the biggest things as a creator. When I started creating content for other people or offering and doing it for free, they saw the passion and they saw how serious I was when I'm working with people. So that helped me be like, damn, like people look at me like a legitimate person that can help them with their content. And that's how I started moving. I'm like, yes, I'm a content creator, gamer, podcast guy, but I can I could be a creative director. I really can. I can write the transcripts, I can manage the cameras, I could do everything. Like you need 4 or 5 people to do what we do,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So that was the
That's
thing. By the
true.
end of the year, I was just like, okay, I did a couple shows. I was doing a lot of free shows and just like I wasn't maybe making something. And but after that, I was like, all the other people that I was around, how you were saying, they were growing and doing well. And as in take, I was getting better too. Like some of the fighters that I started covering were 0-0. Now they're 6-0, 7-0 as pros. 2 years ago we met. We do content for each other. We were in each other's interviews and we got better because like as all these guys got it better, they always say, damn, Jimmy, you're killing it. I was like, hey man, I'm just trying to keep up with y'all. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep up with y'all. Like you guys are getting better at running teams, running promotions and stuff like that. I want to start getting better at other stuff too. So like I just
Mhm.
stopped looking at everything I was doing as a hobby and more like this is my job. How am I going to make this a job? And those 8 months was tough. And like how you said, I was like, like I could always like one thing that helped me too is that I always knew I can get a job. That wasn't the issue. The issue was never I can go get an IT job and get paid okay money. I would hate to do it, but I would do it if I needed to, right? But that was the thing that scared me. I was like, I don't want a job. I want to be able to do something that I genuinely want to do every damn day. You know what I mean? I've been fortunate to be able to do that over time, making the right connections, working with the right type of people, but working with the wrong people for a while, realizing that it's not going to go anywhere, or maybe they don't take me as serious, and it's okay.
Mhm.
One of the things that helped me a lot too that I saw a lot of people fall off is they took everything so personal.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
took so everything so I had a boxer recently. He's a pro here in El Paso. He was 14 and 0, and I was trying to interview him. And he's like, nah, I don't do really things like that. But he did with everybody else. Hey, cool. No, all good. But he'd always see me around the gyms. Oh, then he saw me commentating. And then I got my first interview at his house. I talked to him, super cool guy, chill, right? He had another big fight coming up. He didn't want to talk to me. I would see him around the gym. I would still say what's up to him. And then recently he fought again and he needed some help for promo work. He's like, hey, Jimmy, I need help making a promo for my sponsors. I need this, this, and this. I said, yeah, man, let's go. He canceled on me the day
Oh,
before. I was like, right? I was like, all good, man. I'll see you around, bro. And then he's all right, all right. And then next week he's all, Jimmy, I need to do that video, but I need it tomorrow. Can you do it? I said, absolutely, I got you. Went to his house, we shot it. After he was like, bro, you do not understand how many people get so upset when I tell them no. This whole time you've been cool with me, you never took it personal. He's all from now on, you're my video guy.
there you go.
Cause I didn't take it personal. Some people are like, fuck him. He didn't want to like, I'm trying to do it for free. Why doesn't he want to talk to me? Like a lot of people always want something in return right away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
get it. Some people like, hey, I'm taking my time to do shit for you. Like, what the fuck, right? But
Yeah.
I never took. For me, it was always like reps, reps, reps. This is how it is. Like, I'm gonna get a lot of
Mhm.
no's, but I'm gonna get a couple yeses, and I have to be all right with a couple no's. And that's helped me so much. Is like not taking anything personal,
Yeah,
for
and that's
sure.
hard. Not everybody can do that. I mean, there's times I'm one of them. Sometimes I'd be like, "Oh, yo, word, all right, fuck that guy." Like
Yeah,
I do that shit
yeah,
all the time, and it's easy. And
yeah.
like, and everybody has their own. Like, there's nothing wrong with like protecting your peace in a sense,
Of
but
course, yeah, yeah. Fuck that guy. I spent an hour being there. Like I've had people like
yeah,
I go shoot for them for 2 hours for free, do all this shit, and they never use a single thing that I
yeah,
did for them. And I took 3 or 4 hours out of my time to go shoot it, edit it, send it to them. They didn't like it. They didn't like the pictures. They didn't never posted it. I would see them again. Nothing. Right? They just thought of like, Jimmy wanted to do it for free. In my head, I'm like, well, I wanted to do it to like benefit us, but it didn't work out, and it's okay.
yeah,
No, it's all good. There's a lot of guys that don't come up to me because they already know, like, oh, I already burned Jimmy a couple times. He's not gonna work with me. But I don't ever like take it personal. They
at
just
that
know
point,
that
that's like
when
a
it comes
guilty
to
conscience
but
for them.
it's also like I tell guys like, hey, just because we can't work together doesn't mean we can't be cordial and say what's up.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't have to always be about money. And that was like one of the biggest things that I've been fortunate. A lot of people like they know like yes, this costs money, but it's not always about that, and we could figure that shit out, right? And that's
yeah,
like I've been fortunate to meet the right type of people when it comes to that kind of stuff because I don't want to just offer free work anymore. Like I don't. Like I people tell me, hey, how much for this X? Oh, well, I'll get back to you. All right, cool, man. And I'm okay with saying, hey, we'll talk later. It's not like, hey, well, I'll do it for less. I'm like, no, I already know my worth. I already know what I got. I already, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay. Like if that 100 or 200 bucks
yes, sir.
that I didn't get that day, I get $1,000 later.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? You know what I
And like
mean?
you
Like
said it
another
perfect.
opportunity opens up.
Yeah, knowing your worth is part of all this stuff. But and the thing is, you won't really know your worth unless you love what you're doing. And like even with the, because like protecting your peace isn't always telling that guy like fuck off or fuck that guy. Protecting your peace is what you're saying, which is like being okay with not letting it get to you. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
sometimes if you feel like you're not, let's say, emotionally mature enough yet to be able to do that, sometimes it's best to walk away. But once you become mature into that situation of not letting it bother you, then you have a different level of energy that you kind of bring to the table that people, like you said, they were like, oh, I already burned Jimmy a few times, and you didn't have to say anything. But now that's their own guilty conscience knowing I didn't do
Mhm.
right by that dude. But at the
Yep.
end of the day, they're gonna eventually come to you when they realize Jimmy's still cool with it, and
Yeah.
you're gonna get respect. And that's the thing. Like
Mhm.
in the beginning, they're gonna try you with that shit. Like that dude didn't do anything. But your passion overlooked your like you were more passionate than you were sensitive. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And at that point, when you put passion over pride, because it's a big because everyone's like, oh, pride this, pride that. I feel like the difference between pride and passion is passion still has humility in it because it's what you
Yeah.
love, it's what you're gonna do, and you're willing to work it out. Pride is you're not. You put yourself above it. You're like, that's beneath me type
Yeah.
shit, right?
Yeah.
And when you have more passion than pride, those people are gonna see that and respect you, and they're gonna in the beginning, yeah, they know they fuck with your time, but they're gonna take your time and your work way more serious in the
Yeah.
long run. And those guys, that just wasn't their time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't come to you because they didn't have it like that, but because you also didn't brush them off and make them feel like shit, they don't
Yeah.
know, and you don't know that maybe in the future, okay, yo, I got a bag. Yo, let's do it. Yo, I remember Jimmy, I couldn't do it for him before. I could do it now, Jimmy. Let's run
Yep.
that shit.
I've had a lot of people like that, man. Like, or I've helped a lot of guys for free for a while, and they say, Jimmy, whenever I can. And I'm like, dog, all good, all good. Like one of the things that's helped me out too is that
Yeah.
I only started working with people that are as serious as I am when it comes to content.
Yep.
So like, I had a lot of people say, hey, Jimmy, you don't ever say that you're looking for work or to people to hit you up. I'm like, because I don't want some random asshole to be able to pay me and I have to go do the job, or I don't want to turn down a job just because you could pay me. So like when people like find out that I create content in different ways, that's a conversation. I don't have a card. Like I went to go shoot for one of my homies the other day.
Yeah.
He had to go do a speech and he's like, hey, can you record me and make reels? I said, absolutely. I'll do two angles. I'll put a camera here. I'll put a camera there. We got the wireless mic. I'll do all this. And he was like blown away.
Yeah.
Right. I just did it because I've never recorded somebody doing a conference talk, right?
Yeah.
And now and within that, like people were just seeing how serious I was, and I hooked them up, and I did it because I wanted to do it as a rep. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like when do I like a lot of things I do when it like if it benefits me for access or for me to practice, I do it. Like
Yep.
it doesn't always have to be about money. And a lot of people when you're in the creative space, that's like one of the biggest things that you're going to be doing a lot of shit for free for the longest time before you start like getting a return on that. You know what I mean? And if
Exactly.
you're always worried about it, in which I totally get, like there's other people that move better than us, right? And I totally get it. Some people have different drives, personalities,
Yeah.
different things that they offer that people are more like can gravitate toward them for different reasons,
Mm-hmm.
financial reasons, like different things. Like I get it, you know what I mean? So everybody does things for different reasons,
Yeah.
and when you make it a point to know that it's not just a money grab, like I've gotten way more work.
Yeah.
Like I've gotten more work. Like I get hired to go out of town. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
Yeah.
can you come to Albuquerque 4 hours away to do a show? I said, hey, can you just pay my gas? I'll pay for the hotel. I'll pay for the hotel too. All right, cool. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like they're willing to see that, hey, I will even go and pay for my own hotel, even though you're paying for the gas.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And all of a sudden they're like, damn, like really? Like that's how serious I am. Like
Yeah.
I'll show you just by doing it. And I think that's helped out because like people have consistently seen me show up in all different parts of the city and in the Southwest when it comes to combat sports. Cause like one of my biggest things is while I'm trying to make money, I also was upping the level of content in the area and I'm
Yeah.
promoting some of these fighters. Like Jimmy, I've never had anybody interview me. I'm fucking 8-0, 8 knockouts. Nobody's ever interviewed me. You're the first person.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna start doing Instagram because you told me to, because it helps my brand, and it has. Now I got more money to pay for my meal preps. I'm doing more stuff like that. So like they see how serious I am with my content, and I'm like, I can help you with your content. Like so I mentor a lot of guys for free.
Yeah.
Like, hey Jimmy, how can I go about this? Well, how do you want to go about creating content for you as a fighter?
Yeah.
Well, I really don't want to do this kind of stuff. I'm like, dude, like you'd be amazed if you just share part of your journey of you being a fighter or whatever you guys do, just sharing your journey in the behind the scenes stuff, you will get more people to want to support you just because they see what you're trying to do, not because you're
Exactly.
doing it, not because you're already doing it. It's what you're constantly doing in the background.
Yeah. And people, people don't understand. Like they always think it's like, hey, this is what I want to do. And the next set of content for content purposes is like, hey, I want to do this. And then they expect it to be the next thing is, hey, I did it. Dude, so many people love the fucking process. Yeah, so many people that be like, "Hey, I'm building my house," and they're like, day
Yep.
1, day 2, day 3, day 4,
Yep.
and people are there for it. Why? Because
Yep.
it's that FOMO shit. People are like, they want to be like, "Yo, I'm there." They want to be like, "I was there when you finally make it," because that's just a association. It's an association thing. They want to be like, "Yo, before you got to your destination, remember I was there." They may not say it for you to acknowledge it, but it just feels good to be a part of it. That's
Yep.
kind of like even with the streaming and all these things that we're doing. You seeing like your favorite content creator growing, like, oh, I remember when he only had 15 viewers and I was one of them. Now he's got 10,000. What the fuck? And
Mhm.
and it's like, and then like people don't understand that you give yourself a story, and that's what people don't always just love the hero. They love the story. They love what makes you the hero.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? People, the story is so important that people love villains because of their story. Like, that's the best thing.
Have
Like,
some I have some fighter homies, bro. They're like they love talking trash to people on the
yeah.
internet, and people follow them just because they hate them.
Yeah. Yeah. People love villains for multiple things. They love villains because they want to see him fall, or they love
Yep.
him because they feel bad for him because they be like, man, they're not a villain. They just misunderstood. All my anime fans. They
Yeah.
be like, yo, that dude, man, he just, if they didn't kill
Yes.
his mama, man, he would have been a hero type shit. Like,
Yeah.
all this crazy shit, right? But it's like, dude, you don't,
Thanos is my favorite example.
yeah,
Thanos, because he's like he wants balance in the universe. He doesn't care.
yeah,
Like it's you know what I mean? But he's a villain though. But
yeah,
what he's trying to do makes total sense. Like half the people don't give a fuck about anything. So let's just get rid of half the people and focus on the people that do want to be here. Hey,
yeah.
that's terrible to think, but that makes sense.
Yeah, and in his eyes, he was a hero. Like
Yes.
he's like, hey, I'm the good guy. All of you got, so now
Yeah.
I got to
What
beat
do you
your ass because I'm the good guy.
I have to be the if I have to be the person that gets like the trash on, I'm doing this for humanity. Let's
Yeah,
wipe out half of the universe because it's gonna be better for everybody.
yeah. Exactly. It's just it's your perspective, man. What
Yeah,
part of the story did you join? Did you join this the
yeah,
start where the part where you saw this like cause like it's like other heroes that they start doing crazy shit. You're like, yo, this motherfucker crazy, right?
yeah,
But it's like the Punisher. I love the Punisher because it's like
mhm,
if you don't know Punisher's story, you would think this dude's an asshole.
yeah,
This dude's just he's just a dude that just can't handle his PTSD, right? But it's
mhm,
like, bro, this dude's story will make you cry. Like,
yeah,
and the pain and all the shit that he's going and he's doing it all for his daughter and his wife
mhm.
and all, and you'd be like, yo, what the fuck? Like the way that they did the Punisher show was amazing. But it's
They did a
like,
great job.
oh my god, right? And he's the best. Bernthal's the best Punisher ever.
Yeah, he's good.
Like, I love that dude, bro. But it's like, but that's another thing. Like, he's like an anti-hero. But it's like
Mhm.
everybody has a story. And if you
Yeah,
don't tell your story, you're not gonna realize how many people love you for you. Whether it be
yeah,
something you've went through that they can understand and relate to, you can inspire people. And that's kind of like why I still do this shit, to be real.
mhm,
Like when I first did this stuff, when I started in 2020, damn, 2020. But and I started then, I didn't believe in this shit. I just did it because I was like, I ain't got nothing else to do. I was after
mhm.
the car accident. I was like, yo, I can't even do nothing. I'm like, what do I do? Like, I might as well do something, right? Dude, but I really didn't believe in it at all until people started coming in and talking about some dog. You helped me get over this depressing
Yeah,
moment. You helped me do this. And I was like, wait, you telling me that me sitting on here playing Call of Duty and talking shit and laughing made you feel better? And they'd be like, nah, it's not the game, it's you. And I'd be like,
mhm.
okay, so let me do this. And they still there. Okay, let me go do this. And they still there. Okay, let me do this. And yo, I remember when you were doing that. And then we go to the 1 year, dog. I remember when you first started. You'd be like, holy shit, you've been with me for a year. I'm
Mhm.
over here just playing fucking video games. I wasn't even doing all this now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what the hell I was doing. My camera was crooked. I think I only had one eye in the fucking camera. Like I was doing my streams and I was like this and shit.
Right?
Playing the game. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I was like, yo, and you're here? And I was just like, yes, you. Like, you'll get better. You'll get at it. And then all of a sudden, now look at us with all this shit. I'm like, dude, holy shit. All you need, and that's like, and it's like another story. It's like, all you need is a dream and someone to believe in you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes if no one else believes in you, that's why you need to be the first.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't expect no one to believe in you if you don't. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And that shit stuck with me. And it's like, that's why even with this stuff, like I don't want to stop doing everything. I just want to, I got autonomous. That was my whole thing that I was struggling with last year was I was autonomous survival mode. OD, OD, OD. And I was like, I'm just playing a game. I'm not even enjoying the game. I'm
Yep.
raging out at the game. I'm like,
Yep.
gaming was kind of a fun hobby escape for me 5 years ago. Now it's a job that I don't even want to play video games anymore. I
Yeah.
was like, I don't want to fucking play this. Like, why am I playing this? Oh, because this gets 12 views. Yeah, but they're just watching me crash out. Like, or they're just watching me like not genuinely happy, or I'll end it and be like, thank God. Like, if I end the stream and go, thank God I ended it, what am I doing? So I was like,
Yeah.
I want to get back to the point where I'm like, oh my, I can't wait to press the go live button. All right, finally, let's get it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like it's that people don't realize it's those small things that define your passion. And I lost sight of that shit, dude. That's like you said earlier. I cut my hair, bro. I had a whole meltdown earlier this year. Like it was bad, and it was like I was going through it. Wifey was going through it. You know what I'm saying? I'm transparent. You know, we were going through. We were butting heads about a lot of shit. It was just we were just going through it because we were struggling with things with financials or everything, and we were just like we didn't really have that many outlets. We didn't have that many like we were just like it's like you take shit out on the people that are closer to you, and we just butting
Yeah.
heads about every fucking thing, fighting about every little thing, and I was like, oh my god. And I just like had a whole meltdown, cut my hair, boom, like a psychopath, bro. I said I went to the bathroom and just cut that shit. I was like, this ain't me no more. This lost its strength. I'm fucking done. And I cut it, and then after the end I was like, I just cut this shit. I was like, what do I do? And then I just looked at that and I was like, it'll grow back. And then after I thought about it for a little bit, I just had to kind of get myself right and was thinking as the more I meditated and thought, I was like, just like my hair will grow back, my mentality's gonna grow back. My passion's gonna grow
Yeah.
back. My
That's like
skill
one of the
set's gonna grow
biggest
back.
things too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that having that because everybody's like, how do you do it? I'm
Hmm.
like how you saying the passion, yes, and whatever, but like when you can steadily go forward, like people
Hmm.
say one foot in front of the other, all these cliche shit, but it's fucking true, guys. It's fucking true. Like I
Yes.
just said, I'm just gonna keep going forward. And I'm
Hmm.
not gonna talk about it cause like for you, like another thing for me as a content creator, I stopped limiting how much of my personal stuff. Like we're different in that aspect. You know what I mean? Like I stopped like giving everybody access to me. Like I
Yeah.
just for me, I felt like anybody can reach me in any way and stuff like that. And when I pivoted like recently this past year, just more like um the switch was to create content for other people, and I started realizing when I started working for other people for content, I got way happier because I feel like it was more fun because I'm doing it for them and it's not for me. And I don't need my
Yep.
face and I don't need Jimmy next to it. Like nobody cares who the fuck I am. That I'm getting paid on my skill set.
Yep.
And this is how I can make a living. And that when I did that, I stopped posting as much about a lot of my stuff because I felt like not everybody has a privilege to get to know who I really am anymore. Unless you know me and get to like
Hmm.
for me, like you're gonna get to see the fun stuff and things like that. But a lot of people don't know me, and I felt like I needed to do that to protect my peace. Because
Yep.
like sometimes like people are too out there and they know everything about you. And like I've met a lot of content creators here in town now, where they're talking about a lot of stuff. So like random people come up to them and start talking about random things, and I'm like, I don't want to be with my family at a restaurant and talk about, hey Jimmy, when you said that you were having all this stuff going on and this going on, I'm like, yeah, I got a limit to what,
Yeah.
because I'm out a lot. You know what I mean? Like I become like a figure in the combat sports world in the area. Not saying like it's a big thing, but you say Jimmy Duke's combat, one or two people are gonna know who the fuck I am, right?
It's
In the
awesome.
combat sports world, right? It's a small little niche. It's not a big community. So I had to stop like being so open with a lot of things because like I'm out and about a lot. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like for me, it was weird too because I'm like, man, I'm used to sharing everything and my kids and whatever. You know what I mean? So I get that like how you were saying like, oh fuck, I have to go through this, but having that mentality just to kind of keep going forward
Yep.
has always been a thing that me and you always talked about.
Hmm.
Me and you kind of go like this. Like for the longest time, I was like, God damn, I'm never gonna catch up to Tetsu. And all of a sudden, I'm going, you're like, damn, I'm never gonna catch up to Jimmy. And then we're
Yeah.
like doing this seesaw thing. But we're like one thing that even though you had gone through all that personal stuff, like you still kept going forward in your own way. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And a lot of people like you get so caught up like how you were saying forcing to go live. Like I stopped playing video games because I felt like every time I played video games, I had to turn the camera on. Like
Yes.
that was one of the biggest things, and I was like, "Fuck." So this
Hmm.
past year, after all that last year of like trying to figure myself out in January, I was like, I want to start streaming again. and I tried and it wasn't the same. Like I was trying to strike that fire again, and like I had fallen off in the gaming community, you know what I mean? And it's okay, I totally get it. So I started realizing, you know what? I will play video games and I won't record shit. And I started having fun. Just like, why did I start playing video games ever? Was to just have fun and detach.
Yeah.
I associated gaming with streaming all the fucking time that I stopped wanting to play video games because I felt like I had to hit live.
Dude, it's crazy you said that because that was my biggest issue. That like it was like last month. I was like, I'm tired of just going live. And I was like, gaming isn't fun anymore because the same thing you said. I'm like I can't game without making sure like if it's a dope moment, I can't just enjoy the moment. I gotta make sure you enjoy the moment.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm not gaming for me anymore. I'm gaming for you. And
Exactly.
I'm like, hell no, I can't do this. I'm like, I'm playing this game I don't want to play, and I got 15 other games that I want to play. I'm gonna play what the fuck I want. So I was like, I got to the point I was like, this is what I'm doing. You can join or you don't. I really don't give a
Yep.
fuck. If a new
Yeah.
game came out, don't give a fuck. I
Yep.
posted a whole video earlier. Someone was like, yo, you wanna play Silent Hill? Like Silent Hill's 60, 70 fucking dollars. I was like, no. When I got
Mhm.
80 games that I bought for 60 that I still ain't finished yet, I gotta finish them
Yeah.
motherfuckers. So I'm like, oh, you want me to play it? Buy it. They disappeared.
Yeah.
Exactly. You want me to fucking entertain you on my dime? No, I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to the point where it was just like, I'm doing what makes me happy. So that's why I
Yeah.
was like, and I was like, I could record the podcast, but I know my limitations. And right now, if I'm still trying to do content full time while doing my podcasting, I was like, I need to just make it one of my days, make it an
Mhm.
episode instead of me going. And
Yep.
then now, what am I doing? I'm taking away one gaming day and I'm doing a podcasting. I'm integrating more my podcast into this shit now. So now you get to see what I do. You get to see what I'm plugging this, plugging that. And I was like, okay, now I'm diversifying myself. Eventually,
Yep.
I'm gonna do one where I'm gonna do a meal prep stream. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
wifey got me this little fucking dude. She got me this little like tripod joint that I can put my phone on that has the motion thing that if I move around, it follows me. And I was like, I still ain't using it yet. I was like, because I'm like, I don't know where to use it. I'm like, what do I do? But that
Yeah.
was like, she also got it when I was like out of my feng shui. I was like, this is cool. I like it a lot. I do.
Yeah.
And like the inside of me that was like, yo, this is so fucking dope. You know what I can do with it? Like that shit was muffled at the time, and I was like, damn, I
Yeah.
felt so ungrateful. But now we're like, I'm like,
Yeah.
bruh, I'm gonna be making sure this is right. And I was waiting until Friday, dog. Friday school starts. No more kids, bro. Remy's going to
Yeah,
school.
that was another thing too, man. Like in the summer, like I was like, damn, I wanted to wake up early and do all this shit, but I have the kids around, so like that's another pro of being self-employed. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I get to hang out with my kids all summer, no
Mm-hmm.
problem. Like I would take them with me on shoots, and they're like, "These are your kids." I'm like, "Yeah," like because my kids would get trip out like, when do you go into work? Whenever I want. You know, like,
Yeah.
why are you up late? I'm editing something for work. Oh,
Yeah.
like you don't have to clock in? I'm like, no. They like so they got to see me kind of go through like a guy that's was gone for the longest time, doing IT trips and coming back and hanging out for like a month and then being gone for 7 weeks and coming back and then to being able just to be self-employed and be able to like work from home or work whenever I want to, but then prioritize family. That last year made me realize how important family was, dude. Because
Yeah.
like being a slave to like a job that you do not like, oh my god, bro. And then by the fact too, like for a lot of people that don't know, I'm older too. I'm gonna be 42 this year, so I have like
Damn.
I have yeah, damn. I have a shorter fuse. I have a shorter fuse of shit. So
Yeah.
like I fucking like I can't tolerate stupid people. Like I've cut off a lot of friends or like time wise with people because they're
Mm-hmm.
not in the realm of what I'm trying to do. If it's not my family or my closest friends who are like five of them, like I really don't care what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I it took me a while
So
because
much
I
more
was,
peaceful.
you've got to see me in person. I'm a social butterfly, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm always trying to talk to people, but I felt like I was giving my energy to a bunch of people that didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. It, bro, and it's true, and that shit gets exhausting after a while, man. That shit will drain you, dog. When you just constantly just filling up everybody else's cup, and
Yep.
you're not like you said it earlier. You're not doing it for them to refill into yours, but
Yep.
still at the same time, if you're constantly doing it, and all of a sudden it's like they could give a fuck, you're like, oh my god. So then when you're down bad, that's kind of like what happened to my like with my dad when he always looked out for everybody, and then when he needed it, nobody was there.
Hmm.
So he was like, fuck everybody. He came down here with me.
Yep.
He was like, it's just me and you. We got it. I was like, I'm here. I got
Yeah.
you. But it's like
Hmm.
unfortunately, you either need to break down and realize no one gives a fuck, or you need to catch it before that happens so you can
Yeah.
solidify your peoples. And it's just
Yeah.
like, it's good that you did that. Kind of like that too. Like I have a small circle with that too. Like I used to like, my God, when we was on Facebook, man, we was always trying to network. And I was
Yes.
like,
Oh man, that was another thing too. I
I'm
would
so
tell
glad I
people
grew out
too.
of
I'm
that
like,
shit.
it's so like it's so cringe. All the cringy shit that we would do, dog. Like
Dude,
I'm just like, God
that's a
damn, bro.
whole nother episode that we just gonna
Oh
make
my
fun of
god, I'd be
ourselves,
just like,
dog.
oh, let me go like this full stream and just let him know I'm playing too, just because I could try to play with him and shit. I'm like, God,
Yeah.
you know what I
I'm
mean?
like, it was
Like,
like high school. I wasn't even
oh,
like this shit in high
bro.
school. I didn't care.
Oh, bro, like, hey, if I raid them, maybe they'll raid me next and shit like that.
Yes.
God, bro, damn.
It's a
It is
popularity
so crazy that
contest.
we have to kind of go through that. I tell people all the time, like, when you're pursuing content, especially like video games and stuff like that, the
Mm-hmm.
consistency of showing up, yeah. But after a while, it just kind of like you get so lost in trying to do things that you think that you need to do instead of just kind of like why you started. Like I had somebody recently like, I'm fucking done with this. I'm done like what they were doing. And then I said, why did you start doing this? Oh,
Yep.
because of ABC. Well, go back to that and stop worrying about the rest of the letters.
Yep.
You know, you got caught up with everything else down the road and what it could have been, and you forgot why you started. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? That's helped me a lot, big time, man. It helped me like a
Same.
lot because I was like, man, why did I stop? Why did I quit my job? I wanted to pursue content full time. How? I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out. But that's why I quit. That's why I started going full time because I wanted to be myself and create content. All right, start taking the steps to make sure that that's always the biggest thing. I have one of my best friend, he's like my brother. We've known each other since we were, 10 years old. He's
Yeah.
like, bro, you could be so making so much money doing all this shit. I'm like, bro, I don't want to do that shit just because I can. He's
Yeah.
like, but you're really good at it. I'm like, I don't care, bro. Like my creativeness is other than my family, is more important than a paycheck.
Yeah.
My creative outlet and the way I carry myself when it comes to content is way more important than a paycheck. And everybody could tell, you know what I mean? And it took me a while to realize that and feel that way because, like, I was so more worried about down the road than fucking building the damn road to get to where I need to get.
Exactly. It's like looking at like the other side of the cliff. Like, man, I gotta get over there, but it's like you gotta build a bridge, motherfucker. How you just gonna
All the
jump?
materials the materials right behind you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything's there, but you're like, how am I gonna get over there? Like, fuck.
Over there, like
That's
laying
like
on the floor, trying to
Yeah, that's
like
like can I run and jump across? Like, but nobody wants to take the time to build the steps to,
yeah,
like, why did you, like, I want to get across that. How am I get across it? Oh, there's wood there. Oh, there's nails there. There's a hammer. All right, cool. Let me just start putting it together instead
yeah,
of trying to leap to the end. Like a lot of people, like, damn, you've been like one guy, a younger kid, and I get it, man. He's a big TikTok guy here in town. He's like, damn, that's all the followers you have, and you've been doing this for 7 years. I'm said, yeah, man, absolutely, bro. I just, hey, man, we're on different wavelengths, and you're doing amazing, bro. And he looked at me like, damn, my bad. That sounded bad. I was like, no, it's all good, bro. Like, I'm not gonna hate on your success. You know what I mean? It's easy
yeah,
for be like, well, fuck you, kid. I've been doing it for 10 years. You've been doing it for a year and you're killing it. Fuck you, kind of deal. Like that
yeah,
mindset,
exactly.
you have to kind of get out of that, bro. Cause a lot of people always like worry about everybody else winning and not cheering for them, that they're miserable because they're not winning or why they're winning and they're not. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
Like
just worrying about
I
what's on
I
everybody else's
champion
plate.
everybody, bro. Like one
Yeah,
of my biggest things when I cover events or anything combat wise, I champion everybody. Oh, that guy fucking sucks. He's 0-5. I'm out, bro. He made the walk. Did you make the walk? Did you cut the
exactly.
weight? Did you put in the sacrifice to go in there and try to be great? Then
Mm-hmm.
no, then stop knocking this guy if you've never trained in your life.
Yeah,
Damn, Jimmy, I'm just saying, like, you guys are easily to beat somebody up for failing that you've
yep,
never tried in your fucking life anything.
yep,
Easy to say, oh, that guy fucking sucks.
yeah. And when you've never done it, yeah,
Never.
it's so easy to spectate. It's so easy to spectate somebody else's life because you're not living that shit. It's so easy to tell somebody how to do something you've never done. It's like
Yeah.
even like and we talk about that shit with people all the time. That's why I'm like, that's why I just be like with everybody else. I'm like, yeah, you just do you. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I do what I gotta do. And we have people that'll sit like they'll dog you in one sense, but what I love too is the platform differences. Like somebody will come in here and be like, "Oh, you've been doing this for years, and you only got like 300 followers on Twitch," and then they'll go on TikTok and see I have a few thousand, and they'd be like, "Oh, wait," I'm like, "Yeah, but I have a few thousand there, but I'm over here." Like
Mm-hmm.
those thousand aren't keeping up with me. I'm like, I don't care
Mm-hmm.
about a few thousand here, a few thousand there, a few hundred here. Like I care about who's here now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And if you're not here for 5 months, cool. That's been
Yeah.
my biggest thing that I've always loved when coming back into my me into the old me. Like what you said perfectly was like sometimes you got to take a step back and go back to you and kind of remember
Mhm.
where you started, and that's gonna get you back on track. And for me, it was like that's the whole thing. Like I don't care if you haven't been around for 5 months. I don't care if I haven't
Yeah.
seen you for whatever. All I'm gonna say is, yo, how you been? You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Because then that's gonna,
Everybody has shit going on, right?
bro. And yeah, and it'd be the people, yeah, and it's like people that complain about that shit.
Where you
They,
been?
yeah, they'd be,
Bitch.
yeah, and I'm like the only
I got a
time,
life.
yeah, the only time I'm ever gonna do that shit is if I know you. Like, damn, I
Yeah.
see how it is. Oh, you over there living life, you forgot about. But then it's something like, but I know that motherfucker. Like, but like, if
Mhm.
I don't know you, I'm not. I'm gonna be like, yo, what's good? How you been? How's everything
Yeah.
going? How's the fan band? What's popping with A, B, C, and D? Right? But it's like because you can't make people uncomfortable with giving you their time. Like the fuck, if I make you uncomfortable for being here, you're never gonna donate. And it's not
Yeah.
about that money, but that's a factor. You're not gonna ever want to donate. You're not gonna want to come back to the next one. I literally just cut a bridge. I didn't even burn it. I just cut that shit down. Like it's just like at that point, anything else that could have blossomed from that, whether it be a lifelong follower, a member, a potential friend, whatever could have blossomed from that, I cut that shit at the roots, bro. And it's like that's why I don't like. That's why I don't do that. Like I'm the same way with you with that one. It's just like you kind of just got to go with the flow. Like people are gonna serve a
Yeah.
season. Everybody's gonna be here for around the block, and sometimes people are here longer than others. Sometimes people gone for a while and they come back, and you never know what it's gonna be. And it's like you got to be
Yeah.
open minded to shit. And I feel like all these things really take a nice key, like, hit into like everything that we've been talking about. Kind of segueing into that, like we have all these different things that we've had in our journey and all the like ups and downs, all the cool memories you've made, just laughing, reminiscing about shit from stuff that happened last year to stuff that happened 5 years ago. Like
Yeah, no
that's
shit.
that's the whole process. And even with and that's why I love like I feel like I'm so glad that I'm in the mentality back where I'm at right now doing this with you because bouncing off of each other association like you said it perfectly like no, do we do content like we used to together all the time? No. Do we talk every day like we used to all the time? No. Why? Because we both got in our bag doing our thing, but like I know if I text you you're gonna respond, and
Absolutely.
I
And I think
know
that a
if
lot
I
of people
reach out
get they get
100%.
that messed up sometimes. Hey, just because we're not talking every day, or I don't know what's going on in your everyday life. You know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
kind of like going back to what you're saying that people take it personal. Like, damn, Jimmy, you fucking never hit me up anymore. I'm like, bro, like I got so much stuff going on, and it's nothing personal. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's nothing personal at all. But when I
Mm-hmm.
see you, I hope it's like we like me and you every single time, even when we jumped in the Discord, it's like we just started shit, like the shit talk and just having fun. Like
Yeah.
time never passed.
Yeah.
Like when's the
That's
last
how it
time we
should be.
sat in the Discord and talked like this?
It's been a
A
minute.
year?
Yeah,
A
at
year
least
at
a year.
least? You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
like it's our me and you kind of are like the way we move, we already know how we are. So it's like it's nothing changed. It
Exactly.
really is. And a lot of people can't say that, dude. So that's why I hold my relationships as I've gotten as an older person, and I sound like an old man, but like I cherish those relationships, bro.
Hey,
You
man,
know
you
what I
say
mean?
you
I was
older and you ain't got no gray hair, bro. Where your gray hairs at, dog? You be coloring them
they're in
shits?
there. There's highlights. There's highlights in there. But dude, I've been to your house. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I've been to your house. I've met your family. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I can't say that for a lot of my friends that I know now.
Yeah. It's true.
You know?
Everything's different. Yeah. And it's all different and they're all everybody's your relationship with everybody serves a different purpose in your growth. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Some people are more and I cause like and the one thing is like I know every time I reach out you're gonna answer, but another thing is I know even if I'm not 100% interested in what you're doing, I'm gonna find the good in it and cheer you on and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
like even like the hype pull cards. I didn't know I wasn't like doing that shit, but I did and I like it. And I'm like, you may not give a fuck about trading cards, but you could be like, that's dope. Why? Or
Hell
like
yeah.
it's at the end of the day, it's you see the like potential in it. Like at the end of the day, does this make you happy? Yeah, I'm happy for you. Let's fucking do it.
Hmm.
What can I do
Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
help, you know what I'm saying, support this?
Yeah.
Like and that's like you need people like that in your circle. And those people don't have to be an everyday conversation. Those are just
Absolutely.
people that, when I need a pick me up, I know
Yep.
I know you got me type
Yep.
shit. And
Hmm.
that's another part of the association joint that we're talking about for this episode is you start mapping out the healthy associations in your life. You can always go back to them for like a checkpoint, for like a re-up to trying to get you back to where you needed to be. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that we've gotten that. And I'm just gonna say, man, I'm really proud of you. Everything that you've been
Thank you,
doing.
man.
Like not like just some like a bullshit like kudos, like real shit, dude. the amount of stuff that we've been through since I've met you in a content journey, with all the people we've met, all the situations we went through, the death of Facebook gaming and all these crazy things, and then the
Kick was the
scramble,
best thing ever.
yeah, for like 6 months, and then it turned into Vegas. Like, dude, there was so much shit that happened. But the one thing I've always like loved was that I knew that if I was in the trenches, you were too.
Hmm.
Regardless of what we were fighting, I knew that we were still pushing forward. Even if, like you said,
Hmm.
even if it wasn't at the same pace, even if we weren't at the same destination, we're on separate roads, but we still see each other. And I'm like, I
Absolutely.
respect that shit. And that I feel like
Hmm.
everybody needs to find that. You guys need to find somebody, that you need to find people on your journey that are in what you're doing and have that drive, but you need
Yeah.
that person that's gonna always be like got your back no matter what.
Yeah.
You need your day ones. And
Hmm.
that's why when that happened, I was like, I gotta talk to my boy Jimmy about this. This will be perfect. I wanted to catch up on everything
You're
you've
my
been
day
doing.
two, remember? You're my
My
day two.
I
You remember
forgot
when we
about the
had that
day two
conversation?
shit. Oh
That
my
that day
god.
two is like a person that
Yeah.
genuinely is supporting you when
Mm-hmm.
they just met you at whatever you're at point in your life.
Yeah.
Like I've
I
met
totally forgot
more
about that.
people. I've met more people in my recent last year and a half of my life that have been more supportive by just words than my closest friends for the longest and family.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I met people like, hey, what's up with this camera? I'm all, yeah, man. This is like, oh, did you know you could do this or whatever? That's dope. Hey, man, next time I see you, man, show me what you learned. I'm all right, cool. Hey, did you learn anything? I learned something cool. Fuck yeah, that's dope. Go kill it. Hey, you go kill it. Hell yeah, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Not like let's go get lunch, let's work together. It's more like, hey, man, I see what you're doing. Fuck yeah, keep going
Exactly. You need that
for
shit.
no for nothing in return.
Yep.
Not I'm doing it just to be nice. Genuine
Mm-hmm.
respect for what the other person's got going on. Like I've met way
Mm-hmm.
more people that are doing well in life for different reasons, and they're like, Jimmy, I see what you're doing, bro. I respect what the fuck you're doing, man, because not everybody is willing to just quit what they've always known to do something completely different. And like you lose so many people in that
Yep.
process of like, what the fuck are you, and you're still doing that, like what, like, people don't get it, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's kind of like you have to just kind of go through that on your own
Yeah.
and meet the right type of people along the way, to help you move on. Because not every, like you said, the seasons thing, like I've met more people now that are aiding my life more than I've known people that for the past 20 years that have done nothing for me in the past year and a half.
Oh my god, exactly. Yeah. It's that's so true. 100%.
And it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't even have to be time or money or any, it's just more like encouragement and I see you kind of
Mm-hmm.
deal, you know what I mean? That's it, dude. Like
Well,
like how you said, I don't need them and I don't look
mhm.
for them, but when people genuinely respect you from afar just because they see what you're doing, it's crazy.
Oh, dude, that's a recharge in itself. And I like it too because, and another thing that people don't realize is you're never going to see those people if you're going through your life going like this.
Hmm.
If you're looking down and you're moping and you that's the whole purpose of like the winner and loser mentality, guys, is if you are walking around with a loser mentality, you can't surround yourself with winners. You can't look up and see how many people are with you.
Yep.
No one's gonna see you if you can't even look up. You know what I'm saying? You got, so it's like that's why you have to build yourself up. You have to big
Yep.
yourself up. You got to pick your head up, and you got to realize if
Hmm.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it right. And if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna give it my all. Even if I fall, I'm gonna still give it my all. I don't
Yep.
want to fall giving. I don't want, you don't want to fall half ass,
Yeah.
because you know what I'm saying? Like, you might as well stay down at that point because you never
Yeah.
really were fully up there to see where you could have been. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's that whole purpose of like, if you keep walking around with your head up, your head held high, and you're looking around and you're seeing what's going on around you, that's when you'll start associating yourself with the right people, because then
Hmm.
you'll be able to see everybody that's looking out for you, and you'll be able to see those people that
Yep.
aren't looking out for you. You can protect your peace and know whether I need to completely cut this person off, or if I need to pull a Jimmy and just be nice to him and just being like, hey, it's
Yeah.
all good. Like, there's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? And they
Hmm.
both serve different purposes and they both have power. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, every situation requires a different version of protection, and you
Yep.
can't see that if you're
Absolutely.
looking down. So
Yeah.
I think that's great. Like, I I love this shit, man. I love what you're doing. I love what we're doing with this, and um, I just want to thank you again for everything,
No,
for
man,
your
I appreciate
time.
you just having me on, and for us, we've been talking about this, guys, for the past like 6, 7 months. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna do this. Yeah, we're gonna jump into Discord. Yeah, we're gonna talk, and we never have because we have both of us have families and stuff going on and we're pursuing.
Yeah.
And then when you hit me up last week, you're like, "Well, we could do." I was like, "No, do it on Monday, because if not, we're not gonna fucking do it."
Yeah. I
You
was like, we
remember
can
I
do,
told you
yeah.
that?
I was like, we can do
Yeah,
it
I
this
was
Monday
like,
or
I
next
already
Monday. You're
know
like,
myself,
now.
dude. Yeah, I was like, no, I'm blocking Monday off, bro, all
Yeah.
night, whatever you need, bro. No, but I appreciate you thinking of me and like all the kind words too, man. Because like
Yeah.
you're right, man. When it's tough and just having people who genuinely just saying what's up and seeing how you are matters. You know what I mean? Or just
Hmm.
like genuinely like are looking out for you with nothing in return, or like you know what I mean? Like it's really cool, man. And for me, for the past year and a half of my life, I've learned so much more about myself as a husband, as a father, as a creator, as a man. Like just like I've been on this crazy just like path of just like genuine gratitude and being happy of every fucking day, bro.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm like, what? Like it's funny because like my son's like, damn, you gotta stay up late again to edit. I'm mijo, what a privilege it is to be able to stay at home and edit videos all night to get a paycheck the next day. What a privilege it is to wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning with my kids, eat cereal and roll around, watch cartoons. And then, like, at 1 o'clock, okay, I'll start working. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? What a fucking privilege it is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, having those small little gratitudes, man, has helped me, like, have a better outlook on life, man. Just
That's
like
good.
sometimes fast is not the fastest way. Sometimes slow, it gets you there the fastest way. It really is.
Yeah. No, it's true. And it's good. That's kind of like what I went through like when I first got injured too. That's like, I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna be able to provide? How am I gonna do that? Which is still something that, as
Of
an
course,
adult,
as a man
as a
and as
man,
a
as a parent, all
father,
that stuff, you always worry
absolutely.
about that shit. But like you don't realize how much your job takes you away from your family until you don't have the
Mhm.
job anymore. And you're like, wait a minute, I missed out on
Priorities
all this
change.
shit. Like,
Mhm,
and that's like how it was for me. Like when I got hurt, I was like so focused on that. But like, I'm so glad that when I got hurt was when we had our kids, so I could
mhm,
watch them grow. Like watching
yeah.
Inari
Yeah,
grow
you
from a
would have
little
been in the
baby.
restaurant still, right? You would have
Yeah,
been in the restaurant working
God,
14, 15 hours a day.
yeah, and God knows how much of a how my relationship with her would have been.
Absolutely.
She's like my shadow. Her and Remy, oh my
Yeah.
God, dog. They're like
Mhm,
right there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I wouldn't have been able to get that if I was working 16, 17 hours. Cause like my job that I used to do wasn't an 8 hour shift. It was, dude, I'd be lucky if I had an 8 hour shift.
and you would have moved up and you would have had to take more time. You
Yeah.
would have been like an executive chef or directing events, or you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
The
You
next job I was going to get was I was going to be traveling. So I would have been like,
mhm,
I was going to be away from home for days now, not just
mhm,
hours. It would have been like, I won't see my family for the weekend, or I'll be gone
mhm,
in this city for a week. And I was like,
mhm.
I can't do that. Like my
Yeah.
wife came all the way from Cali to here. So I was just like looking at everything. I was like, damn, not for nothing. Like, but it would have been good money. But I'm like, I wouldn't
Yeah,
spend no
but
time
like,
with the fam.
dude, like the perspective, dude. Like, I mean, we can continue doing all that stuff, but the perspective on life is
Yeah.
like it's crazier because like you don't realize what you're missing out until like you're actually in it, and then not have, like you said, like me losing that job was like during COVID. I was so upset. Like, I don't remember if you remember the conversations. Like, these
Yeah.
motherfuckers, dude, I gave them everything for 7 years. I went to every fucking trip. I sacrificed everything. They didn't give a fuck about me. That's when I
Yeah.
was like, hold up, what am I doing? I'm sitting
Mm-hmm.
here and just complaining now. You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
million people get fired every goddamn day. Why am I any different? What am I
Yeah.
gonna do about it instead of just sitting here and talking shit?
Yeah. It's true. And it's like you gotta let it out, but at the end of the day, it's like
Yeah,
now it's out. What are you gonna do about it? And that's what everybody don't
exactly.
understand. It's a two-part process. You gotta let it
Yeah,
out, and then now you gotta
yeah.
go, what are you gonna do about it? Yeah, this shit sucks, but
Hmm.
what are we gonna do? And that's kind of
Yep.
like another thing with your winning and losing is you're going to lose, but how do I turn my loss into a
Yep.
win?
Hmm.
And as once you can master that for yourself, oh my God, dude, you'll be able to take L's all day and turn them into
Yep.
W's.
Do I take L's every day? Like, people, I never take L's. Like, hey, cool,
Yeah,
man. If that's your mentality, all good. But I'd be failing left and right, man. One
yeah,
time I was at a client, I fucking fucked up the video and everything. I had to say, hey, man, I messed up and we have to record everything. And they looked at me like, are you fucking kidding me? And I said, I am so sorry. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not gonna try to pretend. And they liked the honesty. They were upset. You know what I mean? And I had to swallow a couple $100, but the fact that I was vulnerable and let them know that I messed up and not a memory card or anything else that I could slide to get away with. Like, they respected the fact that I failed and I knew I failed.
yeah. That's it, because it
And
takes
being
balls. No one wants to be
yeah.
a failure. No one wants to fail. Like everyone thinks that failing automatically means loser, and it's like no,
Yeah,
loser is when you fail and you don't get up.
yeah,
Winners, like in order for you to really understand how to win, you have to fail first. You have
yeah,
to lose. Like you'll never understand the weight of a win if you've never lost before.
yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean? And
like
it's like it's
elder
beautiful.
lessons learned. Yeah, I get it. It's cheesy, but it's fucking true.
Dude, you know,
Fine.
bro, it's crazy. Like, cause that's the thing, dude. Cliches are cliches because no one wants to accept how true they are, bro.
Oh,
All
bro,
them
I be
shits,
saying,
bro.
I sound like my goddamn mom and
Yeah,
shit, saying some of this stupid
like
ass
a little
shit,
fortune
bro.
cookie and shit,
It's fucking true as shit. A
dude. That
man
shit
who
crazy.
walks one step at a time will go further than a man who crawls. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
but yeah, mama. I think mama said that one time at lunch type shit.
Oh shit. Hell yeah, man.
But
Well, I'm glad we caught up and talked about this, dude, because
yeah,
you know,
man.
I mean, I think this was good for I mean, it's good for me too. I love catching up with you and I like every time I get to sit down and talk to people, like
Mm-hmm.
I gain a new perspective on life, you
Mm.
know,
Yep.
you know, with all of us have different things going on, but when you can sit down and talk and just kind of relate how you were saying and associate with people in different ways, like
Mm-hmm.
we're meant to all work and collaborate and help each other out. Imagine if everybody just genuinely was just trying to help each other out and
Bro.
not dogging anybody.
Yes.
Just eliminate that from the earth, that
Mm-hmm.
there was no negative talk about somebody. Imagine how much powerful our world would be if
Yeah. How
everybody
much
was
more production
not
we'd
just
have.
hating just to hate. Like
Yeah.
just negative energy for no reason. Ah, fuck Tetsu. Haha, he's trying to still figure it out. Fuck that fool. Haha,
Yeah.
Jimmy, he tried to be a gamer, then he was trying to be Joe Rogan, then he failed, and he's trying to do all this fight stuff. Like, they don't even fucking know me. They're just hating on me from
Yeah,
afar.
bro.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
even.
They're like, yo, fuck you and your hat. I'm like, yo, what my hat
Yeah,
do? Like,
no,
what it say? Like,
yeah,
my hat, my hat got feelings, motherfucker. Like, kick
bro.
down, bro. You gonna bend
Yeah,
the
bro.
bill?
I'll be still wearing the Tetsu's temple, the yellow shirt. They're like, hey, what's up with that? I was like, that's one of my homies. Like, I'll wear it to the gym and shit. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, that's
Yeah,
dope.
dude, that shit
Oh
crazy. Cause I
man.
still be wearing your hat and stuff like that too. I be having that around too. It's crazy, and it's just like like you know
Support
who you
people
fuck
from
with,
afar,
bro.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
support
never
people from
know.
afar.
Cause I showed somebody I showed somebody your because they said they liked the hat. It was a Jimmy Dukes hat once I had, and I told him that I was like, dude, he's not even gaming anymore, and he was like, word, and I was like, yeah. So I showed him your Instagram, and he was like, oh, I'm about to check it. And I didn't know he loves MMA. So he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna check his ass out," and I don't even know who the fuck. You know what's crazy? I never even got the dude's name. I don't know who the fuck he was. He's just some random
Hey,
dude.
he looked
I was
it
at
up.
the
Hey, just
store and
yep,
looked at the hat, and I was like, "Well, I hope you follow him." So
yep,
I hope he followed you, but I'm
yeah,
like,
man,
but you never know what that could turn into. Like
yeah.
it's just like, but it's just man, people don't. Cause like if I was a hater, and that, the whole reason why I said, cause someone's probably gonna be like, what the fuck does that story have to do with anything? Loser and winning mentality is if I was a loser, I was hating on my boy. Oh, I could have been like, yo, follow
Come
me.
check me out.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm like, no,
yeah,
go
that's
check
my
my
boy,
boy out.
but come check me out.
I didn't plug him. I didn't even plug myself at all. I didn't say I made
Yeah,
content with him at all. I didn't even. I wasn't even thinking about myself in that moment. It was like, oh yes, my boy. Boom, 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 boom. And like when you can get to that point of like doing that for other people, that's who you know you care about, and that's how you know people that you trust because you putting them on for shit. And it's just like that's just it always reminds me of like who matters and stuff like that. And then it just reminds me of like us and what we do. And then all day, that was like I think that was the day I texted you. I was like, bro, this and that happened. I thought about you, and then you was telling me about some shit. I was telling you about some stuff, and I'm like, all of a sudden, now I'm all fired up, and I'm ready about to go. I'm about to go edit 30 videos and shit. And I'm
hmm
like, damn, like that one little plug, all of a sudden
yep,
turned into a whole spark for something else. But it's just
yeah.
the way you view shit, man. And I feel like the more passion you have, the more you love what you do, and the more open minded you are in the process, man. I feel like the more you're just gonna enjoy that ride and grow, and just people are gonna see it. People can tell a difference between someone who loves what they do and
Genuine.
people
Yep.
who just do it because they need to. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So thank you so much for your time, dog. This has
Hell
been
yeah, man.
awesome.
Thank you.
And everybody that's been watching, you guys know how we do this. We record these live every single Monday. I do a new episode every Monday around 8:30 p.m. EST. I live record it on Twitch. And if you guys want to watch it during that time, you guys can see it there. If you guys don't ever catch them on Twitch, you don't really watch Twitch, you guys can always watch us on Spotify and on YouTube. I have those accounts there. They drop every Monday at 5 a.m. So you guys can watch it consistently on that way to work. A little Monday motivation to get you guys right when you go to work type shit, you know. And if you guys are driving, you guys can put it up on Spotify. If you guys are chilling at home and you want to watch it, you guys can put it up on YouTube. We got the video and the audio out. Make sure you guys check us out. Thank you guys so much for everything. It's my boy Jimmy Dukes. I can't even say it's Jimmy Dukes Media. He got combat, he got gaming, he got podcasts. He probably recording shit at your mama's house. He's doing a whole bunch of shit, man. Jimmy Dukes is everywhere, bro. Make sure you guys
Thank you,
check
man.
him
I
out.
appreciate you.
Nah,
Hell
thank you,
yeah.
man. You have a good one, everybody. I'll see you guys on the next one.